You do not need a perfect life to have inner peace. You need to stop giving every problem the power to take over your mind. That is the lesson most people learn too late. They wait for life to calm down. They wait for people to change. They wait for the future to become safe. They wait for the right amount of money, the right relationship, the right answer, the right apology, the right moment. And while they wait, their peace stays locked outside of them. But listen carefully. If your peace depends on everything around you becoming easy, then your peace will always belong to something outside your control. A rude person can steal it. A bad day can steal it. A memory can steal it. A fear about tomorrow can steal it. One message, one delay, one mistake, one look, one sentence from the wrong person, and suddenly your whole inner world is burning. Stoicism does not promise that life will stop hurting. It teaches you how to stop handing your mind to the pain. Stay with this reflection, because we are going to break down the Stoic guide to inner peace in a way you can actually use. Not as a pretty idea, not as a quote to forget by tomorrow, but as a way to meet stress, fear, anger, regret, and pressure without being ruled by them. You will learn why peace is not escape, why control can become a trap, why desire keeps the mind restless, why acceptance is not weakness, why Marcus Aurelius looked for stillness while carrying the weight of an empire, and most important, how you can build a quiet place inside yourself even when the world around you refuses to be quiet. If you want calm, serious lessons on Stoicism, discipline, and self-control, subscribe to the channel. This is a place for people who want to train the mind, not run from life. Now take a breath and look honestly at your own life. How often do you tell yourself, "I will be peaceful when this is over"? When the problem is solved, when the person changes, when the money is better, when the body feels stronger, when the past hurts less, when the future is clear. It sounds reasonable, but there is a hidden trap inside it. You are telling your mind that peace is not allowed yet. You are telling yourself that calm must wait for permission from the world. And the world is not a gentle gatekeeper. It delays. It interrupts. It changes plans. It brings people who misunderstand you. It brings duties when you are tired. It brings loss when you wanted comfort. It brings noise when you were begging for silence. So the Stoic asks a harder question. Can I find peace before everything is fixed? Can I stand steady while the storm is still moving? Can I stop making my mind a hostage to things I do not control? This is where inner peace begins. Not in a perfect life, not in a perfect mood, not in a perfect room, but in the moment you stop saying, "Everything must change before I can breathe." Most people think peace means getting away from trouble. They imagine peace as a quiet road, a clean room, a distant cabin, a morning with no messages, a life where no one needs anything from them. And yes, rest matters. Silence can help. Space can heal. A tired mind sometimes needs to step away. But you know this already. You can leave the noise and still carry the noise inside you. You can leave the argument and replay it 20 times. You can leave the person and still hear their words. You can leave the city and still bring fear, regret, envy, anger, and worry with you. If the storm lives in the mind, distance alone will not save you. That is why Stoicism does not begin by changing the room. It begins by training the judge inside the room. The judge is your mind. The judge decides what an event means. The judge decides whether a delay is a disaster. The judge decides whether criticism is a lesson or a wound. The judge decides whether pain becomes wisdom or bitterness. The event matters, but your judgment of the event shapes the life you live after it. This does not mean pain is fake. Pain is real. Loss is real. Pressure is real. Fear can feel real in the body. But the mind often adds a second wound. The first wound is what happened. The second wound is the war you start against what happened. You say, this should not be happening. You say, I cannot stand this. You say, my life is ruined. You say, I will never recover. You say, I cannot be peaceful until this disappears. And now the problem has become heavier. A delay becomes rage. A mistake becomes shame. A rude person becomes a whole day of anger. A hard season becomes proof that life is against you. The Stoic does not deny the first wound. He simply refuses to add chains to it. He says this happened. Then he asks, what is required of me now? That question is powerful because it brings you back from panic into action. What is required of me now? Not why is life unfair? Not how do I force everything to change? Not how long can I stay angry? What is required of me now? Maybe patience. Maybe courage. Maybe rest. Maybe a hard conversation. Maybe silence. Maybe forgiveness. Maybe a boundary. Maybe one small step. Peace returns when the mind stops trying to swallow the whole storm and comes back to the next right thing. This is why control matters so much in Stoicism. A lot of suffering comes from trying to control the wrong things. You try to control what others think. You try to control how people act. You try to control the past. You try to control luck. You try to control time. You try to control every result, every mood, every outcome, every person, every path. And because these things cannot be fully controlled, the mind becomes tired. It becomes like a hand trying to hold water. The tighter it grips, the more it loses. So the Stoic asks, what is truly mine? My judgment is mine. My choice is mine. My effort is mine. My words are mine. My actions are mine. My honesty is mine. My courage is mine. My discipline is mine. My response is mine. Now ask the other side. What is not fully mine? The weather is not mine. The past is not mine. The future is not fully mine. The body of another person is not mine. The mind of another person is not mine. Rumor is not mine. Luck is not mine. Death is not mine. Other people's approval is not mine. This does not mean you do nothing. That would be a lazy reading of Stoicism. You still plan. You still work. You still speak. You still protect what matters. You still love people. You still take responsibility for your part, but you stop demanding that life obey you before you allow yourself to be steady. That demand is poison. It turns every small problem into an insult. It turns every delay into an enemy. It turns every uncertain future into a prison. The Stoic gives full effort to what is his, then releases the rest. That may sound simple. It is not easy. But even a small practice can change the whole day. When something troubles you, pause and divide it. One side is mine. One side is not mine. Do not mix them. If someone insults you, their words are not yours. Your response is yours. If rain ruins your plan, the rain is not yours. Your patience is yours. If the past brings regret, the past is not yours. The lesson is yours. If the future brings fear, the future is not yours. The next right step is yours. Peace begins when the mind stops trying to carry what only fate can carry. Now look at desire. Desire can make the mind restless because it always points somewhere else. It says peace is over there. One more win. One more purchase. One more person to notice you. One more sign of respect. One more perfect day. One more reason to feel safe. And when you get what you wanted, the mind rests for a moment. Then desire points again. Now you need more. Now you must protect it. Now you must compare it. Now you must fear losing it. So the thing that promised peace becomes another guard at the prison door. The Stoics did not say food, shelter, friendship, work, health, and success have no value. They did not say you must own nothing and enjoy nothing. They said these things are not the highest good. They can support your life, but they cannot become the center of your soul. When comfort becomes the highest good, discomfort becomes a disaster. When praise becomes the highest good, criticism becomes a wound. When control becomes the highest good, uncertainty becomes torture. When pleasure becomes the highest good, discipline feels like death. But when character becomes the highest good, the world loses some of its power. You can enjoy comfort without being owned by it. You can receive praise without needing it. You can face criticism without being destroyed. You can accept loss without becoming empty. You can live with uncertainty because your duty is still clear. This is the Stoic road to peace. Not having nothing, not feeling nothing, not wanting nothing, but placing your soul on something steadier than fortune. What is steadier than fortune? Wisdom, justice, courage, self-control. These can be practiced anywhere. In wealth or poverty, in praise or blame, in health or illness, in success or failure, in public or alone. This is why the Stoic can build peace where others only see trouble. Because every moment, even a painful one, can become a place to practice virtue. The rude person becomes a chance to practice patience. The delay becomes a chance to practice acceptance. The loss becomes a chance to practice courage. The praise becomes a chance to practice humility. The temptation becomes a chance to practice self-control. The fear becomes a chance to practice clear judgment. Nothing is wasted if character grows from it. That does not make pain pleasant, but it gives pain a use. And when pain has a use, the mind suffers less blindly. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He was not a man sitting in perfect peace with no duties. He was emperor of Rome. His life was filled with war, sickness, betrayal, pressure, politics, grief, and endless demands. He had power, but power did not give him a quiet mind by itself. In many ways, power made peace harder. More people depended on him. More people judged him. More problems reached his door. More voices asked for his attention. Yet Marcus kept returning to what Stoics often call the inner citadel. The inner citadel is the place inside a person that does not need applause, comfort, or perfect conditions to stand firm. It is not a fantasy place. It is the trained mind. It is the part of you that says, I cannot control all of this, but I can control what I become inside it. Marcus reminded himself that he could retreat into himself at any time, not to hide from duty, but to return to reason. That matters for you too. You may not rule an empire, but you know pressure. You know the weight of expectations. You know what it is to wake up with a mind already full. You know what it is to carry worries no one else can see. You know what it is to look calm outside while a crowd of thoughts argues inside. This is why Marcus still matters. Not because he had no storms, because he kept practicing peace inside storms. His peace was not perfect. No human peace is perfect. But he trained himself to return, again and again. That is the real practice. Not never losing peace, but returning faster. Not never feeling anger, but not letting anger become your ruler. Not never feeling fear, but not letting fear decide your life. Not never feeling sadness, but not turning sadness into a home. Inner peace is not a mood you keep forever. It is a direction you return to. Please remember that. Because many people give up on peace the moment they feel disturbed. They think, I am angry, so I failed. I am anxious, so I failed. I am sad, so I failed. I still care, so I failed. But Stoicism is not about never being moved. It is about not being carried away. A thought can enter your mind. It does not have to become law. A fear can visit you. It does not have to become your master. An insult can touch you. It does not have to shape your character. A memory can hurt you. It does not have to pull you back into the past. You are not every feeling that visits you. You are the one who decides which feelings receive a throne. So do not believe every thought just because it is loud. The mind can speak with great drama. It can say, this will never improve. It can say, they all hate you. It can say, you are too late. It can say, you cannot handle this. It can say, your life should be different by now. But not every voice inside you is wise. Some voices are old wounds. Some are fear. Some are pride. Some are hunger. Some are tiredness wearing the mask of truth. The Stoic does not attack the mind. He watches it. He asks, is this true? Is this useful? Is this mine to act on? Is this thought helping me live with wisdom? Or is it only dragging me through smoke? Many thoughts lose power when they are questioned. They were never kings. They were only echoes. The present moment is another path to peace. Most unrest comes from living outside the present. The mind runs backward into regret, then forward into fear, then sideways into comparison, then down into old pain, all while the only place where action is possible is here. Now, the past can teach you, but it cannot be changed. The future can guide your planning, but it cannot be held. Other people's lives can show examples, but they are not your road. The present is the only place your character can act. This does not mean you ignore the past or fail to plan. It means you stop living in places where your hands cannot work. If regret appears, ask what it teaches. Then return. If fear appears, ask what step is needed. Then return. If comparison appears, ask what your own duty is. Then return. Return, return, return. This is the quiet rhythm of Stoic peace. The mind wanders. You bring it back. The world shouts. You bring it back. Pain rises. You bring it back. Desire pulls. You bring it back. Peace is often built not by one great moment, but by 1,000 returns. Another practice is simplicity. A restless life often comes from too many false needs. Too many things to prove. Too many people to impress. Too many desires to feed. Too many fears to manage. Too many versions of yourself to maintain. Simplicity is not poverty of life. It is clarity of life. So ask yourself, what do I truly need? What is enough? What can I stop chasing? What can I stop pretending? What can I release without losing myself? These questions clear space inside the mind. A simple meal can remind you that not every pleasure must be grand. A quiet walk can remind you that not every hour must be filled. A plain room can remind you that peace does not require display. A day without praise can remind you that your life still has weight. The Stoics practice seeing how little is needed for dignity. Not because beauty is wrong. Not because comfort is evil, but because dependence makes the soul nervous. The more conditions you place on peace, the harder peace becomes. I can be peaceful only if they like me. I can be peaceful only if I succeed. I can be peaceful only if nothing changes. I can be peaceful only if I never feel pain. These rules are too heavy. Life will break them. A wiser rule is this: I will practice peace with what is given today. Not tomorrow's perfect life. Not yesterday's lost chance. Today, with this body, this work, this family, this weather, this pain, this duty, this breath. That is where peace begins. Acceptance is often misunderstood. Some people think acceptance means giving up. They think it means saying bad things are good. They think it means letting people harm you. They think it means becoming passive. But Stoic acceptance is not weakness. It is clear sight. It says, I will see reality as it is before I decide what to do. A person who refuses to accept reality cannot act wisely. He is too busy arguing with what already exists. The rain has fallen. The loss has happened. The words were said. The mistake was made. The body is tired. The person has shown who they are. Acceptance says, begin here. Not because here is perfect, because here is real. Once you accept the real ground beneath your feet, you can move. You can repair. You can leave. You can speak. You can rest. You can rebuild. You can forgive. You can set a boundary. You can start again. But you cannot do any of this while the mind is still screaming that reality should not be real. This is why acceptance brings peace. It ends the useless war, not the useful fight. The useless war, the fight against facts, the fight against time, the fight against the past, the fight against being human. When that war ends, energy returns, and that energy can become wise action. There is also a moral side to inner peace. Many people lack peace because they live against their own values. They lie and wonder why the mind feels unsafe. They waste time and wonder why the heart feels ashamed. They chase pleasure and wonder why they feel empty. They betray themselves and then search for calm in comfort. But no pillow can soften a guilty conscience for long. No praise can heal a life built on cowardice. No luxury can quiet a soul that knows it is living falsely. Stoic peace is tied to character. You cannot live badly and expect to feel deeply well. You may distract yourself. You may entertain yourself. You may numb yourself. But peace is different. Peace asks for agreement between what you believe and how you live. If you value honesty, tell fewer lies. If you value courage, stop obeying every fear. If you value discipline, stop making comfort your ruler. If you value justice, stop treating people as tools. If you value wisdom, stop feeding the mind with noise all day. This is not moral decoration. This is mental health at the level of the soul. A divided life creates a divided mind. A cleaner life creates a quieter mind. Not perfect, cleaner. That is enough to begin. You do not need to fix your whole life tonight. Begin with one honest act, one hard duty, one apology, one boundary, 1 hour without the thing that weakens you, one choice that your future self can respect. Peace grows from these small acts, not because the world changes at once, but because you begin to trust yourself. And self-trust is a deep form of peace. When you trust yourself, you do not need to panic at every problem. You know you will meet it. You know you will think. You know you will act. You know you will return if you fall. That is stronger than a perfect life. A perfect life is fragile because one crack ruins the illusion. A trained mind is stronger because it knows cracks will come. Now bring this closer to your own life. Think of the thing that has been stealing your peace. Maybe it is a person. Maybe it is money. Maybe it is your past. Maybe it is your health. Maybe it is fear of the future. Maybe it is the feeling that you are behind. Hold it in the mind for a moment. Now ask, what part of this is mine? Be honest. Not all of it. Maybe only a small part. Your next step. Your next sentence. Your next habit. Your next choice. Your next act of courage. That is enough. Do not try to carry the whole mountain. Carry the stone that is yours. The mind loves to suffer the whole future at once. Stoicism brings it back to the next right action. One stone, one breath, one duty, one honest choice. This is how peace becomes practical. Not a dream, not a quote on a wall. A way to move through the day. When you wake up, remind yourself, I will meet what is not in my control. When you are delayed, remind yourself, this is practice. When you are judged, remind yourself, their opinion is not my character. When you are tempted, remind yourself, pleasure is not my master. When you are afraid, remind yourself, only the next right step is mine. When you are tired, remind yourself, I can be gentle without surrendering my values. When the day ends, ask, did I guard the center? Not perfectly. Honestly. That is the work. The Stoic Guide to Inner Peace is not a secret technique. It is a change in loyalty. You stop being loyal to every fear. You stop being loyal to every desire. You stop being loyal to every opinion. You stop being loyal to every story the mind tells in panic. And you become loyal to what is steady. Truth, virtue, duty, clear judgment, the present moment, the next right action. This loyalty does not remove all pain, but it gives pain less power to rule you. And over time, something inside grows quiet. Not because life became easy, but because you stopped asking life to be easy before you could be steady. So when the world feels loud, remember this. You do not need to silence the whole world to find peace. You need to stop giving every sound a throne. You do not need every problem solved before you breathe. You need to return to what is yours. You do not need a perfect past. You need a useful lesson. You do not need a certain future. You need a faithful step. You do not need every person to understand you. You need to live in a way your own soul can respect. Peace is not far away. It is hidden beneath the things you are gripping too tightly. The need to control. The need to be praised. The need to know everything. The need to win every argument. The need to escape every pain. Loosen the hand. Return to the present. Do what is yours. Release what is not. Live with character. Begin again when you fall. This is not easy, but it is simple. And simple things practiced daily can become a fortress. The world will still change. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still break. Fear will still knock. Loss will still visit. But you can become the kind of person who does not hand over the keys every time life becomes hard. You can become quieter without becoming weak. Calmer without becoming cold. Stronger without becoming harsh. Free without running away. That is inner peace in the Stoic sense. Not escape from life. Mastery inside life. So before you leave this video, take this with you. The world does not need to be quiet for you to become still. Your past does not need to be perfect for you to begin again. Other people do not need to understand you for you to live with honor. Your future does not need to be certain for you to take the next right step. And your mind does not need to obey every fear that knocks on the door. Your peace is not something the world gives you when it is finally satisfied. Your peace is something you train, protect, and return to. Again and again. When life is loud, return. When fear rises, return. When anger burns, return. When regret pulls, return. When desire whispers that you need more before you can be okay, return. Return to what is yours. Return to your next right action. Return to your character. Return to the center. And if this reflection helped you, subscribe to the channel. Not for noise, not for empty motivation, but for calm Stoic lessons that help you build discipline, strength, and self-control one day at a time. Leave this video with one question in your mind. What am I still trying to control that was never mine? Sit with that question. Carry it into the rest of your day. And when the world tries to pull you apart, remember, you do not have to become the storm around you. You can become the still point inside it. Until the next one, guard your mind carefully. The world will keep making noise. Your task is to return to the center and live from there.